Hey guys, we're gonna be doing a different kind of video today. Um, so my editing software doesn't really work, and I don't have access to my computer as usual because I'm traveling. But I wanted to make a video on Myu anyways, so we'll just try to live record all of this and then upload this to YouTube. So this is all in one go. All right, let's just get started. I just want to talk about the PvP viability of Miyu and how I'm building him, as well as some of like the meta stuff that is relevant to him. So he came out earlier this week. Um, he's been wrecking CN server ever since he got released there. So he's definitely a very strong contender for Galactic Duel. He is a single target Cosmo damage dealer for the main part, but he's also tanky in some situations and he has immunity in some situations. So we'll just go over his skills because they're kind of confusing, and a lot of people have been asking about his skills on Discord and Reddit and such. So, alright, so he has four forms. The first one is when he is a larvae, and the second one is when he's a bug, and the third one is when he's a cocoon, and the fourth one is a butterfly, which is his actual, human saint form, I guess. And his skills dictate how he can transform into all those different forms. So let's just go over his skills real quick. I'll put up the description here, and then you guys can pause the video to kind of like read what he does. But I'll give like a brief overview of how it works in practice. So his first skill, the auto attack, is a bit different from the normal auto attack. It has like four different traits that you can get depending on your skill up and also depending on his transformation. So what happens is every time you auto attack with him, he gains one underworld butterfly, which is like a counter that unlocks some passive stuff for his fourth skill. And then he also unlocks a trait depending on the transformation. So if he's in larva form, the first one, he just deals a lot more damage to shields. And then if he is in his bug form, then he uses a thread, like a web. And what that does, it has an 85% chance of entangling the target, which means the target will get binded for one turn after he has taken 3 actions, not 3 turns. So I believe this means if the target gets Luna buffed or Underworld Shun buffed, it would, it wouldn't take 3 turns for him to get binded. And then if he is in his cocoon form, he will become immune to crowd control. So I think this is the same as Shion's shield. So I think he will also become immune to Cannon's exile and Shun's bind. And also he increases the resistance of your 2 adjacent friendly units. So the guy in front of him and the guy behind him by 180% for 1 turn. And if he's in his butterfly form, the last form, he will cast an Underworld Illusion Butterfly, which has a 30% chance to deal additional 100 points of psychokinesis. So what that means is, he would, I think he would just use one of his he would just do an auto attack, and then the auto attack will have a 30% chance of giving him 100 points of psychokinesis, which I'll explain later in his third skill. Alright, so his second skill is his evolution skill. So what this does is before he is a butterfly, you can manually evolve him to his next form. So if you're a larva, you can go into a bug immediately, and if you're a bug, you can go to cocoon immediately, etc. But the cost is he will have a he'll reduce his max HP by 35% every time he does this. So when you manually evolve, you'll lose a lot of your max HP, and it's almost never recommended to do this unless you can, just win the game by evolving him to his butterfly form and just finish off, 1 or 2 units right then and there. But otherwise, you wouldn't ever use this to manually evolve. And then the other thing about the second skill is when he is in his butterfly form, this skill, instead of evolving, it becomes a new attack. So the new attack is just a single target Cosmo damage, 400% Cosmo damage, which is pretty good. And the Cosmo attack, it also grants all his traits from his auto attack. So for example, if you level this all the way up to level 3, then it will have all the traits. So it will both do the extra damage to the shields, it will both do the entangle, and it will give him immunity. So this is really good. This is, and I'll explain the skill up order later, but you definitely want this to be at least level 3. Alright, so the third skill, this is his passive that allows him to evolve and transform naturally. So this is a lot of words here, but how this works in practice is whenever your enemy takes a turn, he gets some points, some psychokinesis points, and then whenever your enemy heals, and by heal, I mean an instance of heal. So if they have a Marin and they heal their entire team, that's 1 instance of heal. That's not 5 or 6. That's just only 1. So this is really good against Underworld Shun, who can heal everyone up to a maximum of 4 times a turn. So that's like, up to potentially 24 times in one full round, and that will give them a lot of points and just basically evolve them. I had a few games where against Underworld Shun, my Myu evolved before I even got to take a single turn with him, to butterfly form. So it's pretty good. So every time the enemy takes a turn, or every time the enemy heals, he gets psychokinesis points. And then when he has 120 points, he evolves to the next form. And then when he evolves to his next form, he immediately does an auto attack. I think to a random enemy, I'm not sure. But he just immediately auto attacks, even if it's not his turn. And then he evolves to the next form. And then when he evolves to a butterfly, he also recovers 60% of his HP. And the other important thing about this skill is when he's not a butterfly, so when he's a larva, he has a lot of damage reduction, and when he's a bug, he has a bit less, and then when he's in cocoon, he has a bit less damage reduction, but when he's butterfly, he has no damage reduction anymore. So what this does is it kind of gives him a lot of survivability before he's a butterfly, so it kind of guarantees that he can evolve to a butterfly eventually. And then, of course, the more you level this skill up, the faster he gains psychokinesis every time your enemy takes an action. And also, skilling this up gives you more damage reduction in his 3 base forms. As you can see, the numbers here are pretty ridiculous. He gets 90% damage reduction, so he's basically invulnerable when he's in his first form. 70% damage reduction, that's a lot as well when he's in bug form, and 50% damage reduction when he's in cocoon form. which makes him really, really tanky before he becomes a butterfly. But after he becomes a butterfly, like as you can see, his base HP it's alright. It's pretty good, but it's not like Hades. Um, I think it's lower than Hades. I'm not sure, but he's definitely not that tanky, especially since you want to build Cosmo attack with him. All right, so his last skill, this kind of, um, this kind of just gives him more damage. Really, just like passive more damage. Like whenever he gangs 4 butterflies, which you get from using your second skill and your first skill, um, he just attacks the same target, with a 400% Cosmo damage attack, or sorry, well, depending on how much skill level you have, and then also whenever he does this, it increases his second skill's damage by 40%. So it just adds a lot more damage to his kit in general. And then another thing I forgot to mention is for his third skill, whenever you get 120 points of psychokinesis, when he's already a butterfly, you get an extra turn the next time you get to go. So say you're already a butterfly and your opponent takes a bunch of turns, or your opponent heals a bunch. The next time that Myu gets to go, he gets another extra turn for free. And then if you already buffed him with Luna or under Roshun, that means he gets 3 turns or 3 actions that single turn. So that's kind of how his skills work. I know it's kind of confusing, but as you play with them, and if you watch, footage that I'm gonna show later, of him in action, it gets kind of you kind of get used to it. So in terms of skill up order, I would say get the auto attack to level 3 so that you can get all this traits. Get his second to level 3 so that you can get all the traits. Get this to level 5 as soon as you can so that he can transform as fast as possible. And then get this to, this could just be left at 1. But if you have already leveled up this to level 5 and these two to level 3, then you can get this to level 5. And then this to level 5 because it just deals a lot more damage. And then if you really want, like, getting this to level 5 is also decent. It's just like, it's 20% more damage. A lot of people already have gone to 5.5, so yeah, he's definitely like E-Saga, where he requires a lot of books, and each one of those books really pay off. So, all right, and then some other kind of meta information about him is his temple is Masse Elite. So the annoying thing about this is that the frog guy is also part of this temple, and we didn't know this until this week. So for all those people that missed out on buying the frog last week, well, you just don't get him in the temple, and he's not going to be in the temple for a while because we have no idea when he's coming back. Unless you bought him last week, you can't summon him. So it doesn't matter if you spend a lot of gems to try to summon him, even though he's you can't get him unless you bought him before, which is a really crappy move from their part, to be honest. And then the other guy is Raimi. A lot of people have already started using him in Galactic Duel and some PvE stuff. He's pretty good. But yeah, so that's the temple. And then what else? Yeah, so as with all the other S stars, you need to get him to friendship level 3 to unlock all his 8th sense. And interesting enough, his 8th sense gives him lifesteal. So you can actually get him to a decent amount of lifesteal um, without that much Cosmos investment. And that's pretty good because his single target damage is quite high, so he can heal himself for quite a large amount, and he doesn't come with any healing skills, so he can sustain himself if you invest lifesteal into him. Um, it's nothing crazy like Hades, but still, it's better than having no sustain at all. What else? Okay, yeah, let's go over my current lineup for him. So this is kind of what I like to go with him. I really like using Gold Hyoga with him because um, putting the cross on him turn 1 and 2 when he's in his larva form to cocoon form means the opponent will just waste a bunch of attacks on him because he has so high damage reduction, and it really messes them up. And with the combo of Poseidon's Ice Seed, it's a lot of just passive damage and passive disruption to the enemy without much energy investment at all. Like you just spend 1 energy on the Ice Seed and you're good for like a turn or two. So I like to go with this kind of like low energy lineup with him. Underworld Shun to give him multiple turns. Uh, and then E Saga because it really slows down the enemy, gives Myu time to transform. Another variation I would like to do would be to use Milo. So what you would do is turn 1 to whenever before Myu transforms, you would give Milo double attack with Under Roshun, and then when Myu does transform, if they're still alive, you would give Myu 2 actions a turn. And then with the combination of Gold Hyoga and Poseidon, it's a pretty well rounded team. Some weaknesses I can think of is probably like a really fast, really well built cannon comp, but even with that, if you just put like Sari, you know, like a decently fast Sari, like it's hard for them to get the combo off on you. So it's pretty good. It's a team that I saw in the Chinese server top 10 GDs a lot back in November and in early December, and I think this is still pretty popular uh, in the Chinese server. Except they probably would have like RC Doko. They would have I think God Shiyu as well. But what other teams is possible with him? Let me see. Right, this one, right this one is another one I saw on the Chinese servers. Not too often. I don't think this team is as good, but essentially the idea is you would lock them down with your RC Shaka, and then you would use Luna to double Hades in the beginning and then double Miyu afterwards. And then you would have Mu to keep everyone healthy and as well as to threaten like a huge counter attack. Um, so the idea with this comp is both Miyu and Hades kind of have the same role where after they activate, right after like the first 2 turns, they just become super powerful damage dealers that can 2v1, 3v1. Yeah, I haven't had too much success with this comp because of a lot of evil sagas running around and a lot of Milos, and this team kind of doesn't have what it takes to keep up with that. But when the meta shifts, maybe that could change a bit. So let's let's try to find some matches. Um, I'm gonna try to like talk and play at the same time, which is usually not a good idea, but we'll just try to see him in action. And if we can't find anything, like if he just keeps getting banned or it just takes too long to match make, then what I'm gonna do is just show some replays from before. I was this one, so wait, replay. Yeah, I wish the replays had like date and timestamp so you can see which one's which. Right, so okay, I remember this one. Let me slow this down to right. So 2 speed is fine. So he's going with a Milo and Icky comp. It's very aggressive and it's a bit greedy to be honest, but at least he's not also using E Saga. So I put the cross on Myu right away, and I'm also buffing Milo. So as you can see, his Milo, in a sec, he will attack Miyu. See, because of the golden cross, and that just deals a whole bunch of damage back to him. And because of the damage reduction, Miyu barely took any damage there. So his Milo kind of really didn't do anything that turn, even though he got double buffed. And I transformed before my Miyu even got a turn. And look at that! Look at that damage with the gold Hyoga and the double turn. That's like half of his entire team's HP just gone, and that was turn one. And with like a Poseidon wave, this game is just over. Yeah, and another thing that's kind of irrelevant for Miyu, but a very important factor right now is your Milo has to be fast. So as you can see here, because my Milo was faster than his, I was able to get the upper hand. And had I wanted to, like if I didn't really want to use Miyu to finish them off, I could have just got Milo to one shot their Milo before their Milo could take their second turn. So yeah, as you can see here, what really won me the game was that first turn of the cross being on Miyu, and yeah, their Milo just not dealing that much damage to my team because of that. Okay, let's try to actually find a game. I think here I'll ban. I think I'll just ban Icky. Okay, so we can't do that Poseidon combo anymore, so I think we'll just go with um, E Saga in this case. And then maybe we'll use Nero Priest to just smooth things out. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, the good old Misty against E Saga. Well, that's how it goes. If they have a fast Misty and you don't have June, your E Saga is just dead. I think that's fine. What we'll try to do is we'll just try to kill their Milo as fast as possible. The thing is, at least my E-Saga is faster than his, so at least I'll get his. Uh, at least I'll do decent amount of damage to his Hades before I die. Not sure why he used that on Hades. I wasn't gonna really target him anyways. Oh right, he wanted to avoid the Ares brutality. That's fine. So here I'm trying to heal him or heal his E-Saga so that my Myu gets to transform faster. Okay, now I can silence Underworld Shun, revive my Milo so that he doesn't get one-shotted by their Milo. Unfortunately, his Milo is faster. Like I was saying before, like this meta is really about whose Milo is faster. And his Milo is just like a bit faster than mine, unfortunately. Yeah, let's see. Double speed, double speed, double speed, double speed. Yeah, that's how it goes. Okay, so he killed. Right, he killed his own Athena to to guarantee the death on my Milo. That's fine. Wait, what? He didn't die? Oh wow. Okay. Well, that's something. Oh shit. Okay, this might be a situation where I actually want to transform. Because if I transform, I get to kill the Milo. Yeah, we'll just try it. Even though this makes me a lot weaker. Let's see if I can kill Hades. No, he's not gonna die. That's fine. Then just revive Milo again. Wait, that was a bad idea. I shouldn't have revived Milo. He was gonna die to Athena anyways. Yeah. That's okay. That means my Myu can get to do his shit without getting killed um by E-Saga. Alright. Definitely need to kill Hades here. And then need to kill E-Saga. And then, yeah, the third turn, kill Underworld Shun. There we go. That's a pretty good showcase of how Myu can win you the game. Alright. I think that's gonna be it for today. I do have a summoning video where I got like two Myus within the first 200 summons. So that's on my mixer. I have to bring this over to YouTube, and I gotta figure that out once I get back to my my actual computer. All right, thanks for tuning in.